Good afternoon, Manandal. Myself, Ravi Kumar. I am new botany lecturer and I have 9 years of teaching experience. In the last class, we have completed regarding meiosis 1 cell division and the meiosis type of cell division. Now we are going to continue from meiosis 2 cell division, that is from prophase 2. Okay, here in the last class, what we have discussed, after completing at the end of the meiosis 1, we got the two cells, and one cell is having the two chromosomes, and they will be having 4 DNAs. Each cell is having, and the two cells we call it as dyads of cells, or you can simply call it as dyads. Okay, these two cells are going to follow sequence steps or phases, and in each phase some important steps are going to happen. See, in case of prophase 2, here the nuclear membrane and nucleolus are going to disappear. And before going to happen disappearing of nuclear membrane and nucleus, in interkinesis, what is interkinesis? The gap and short duration in between cytokinesis 1 into prophase 2. What is going to happen? Very important step. Here centrioles are going to replicate. That means the centrioles are here, only one is there. But here, when reach at the end of the prophase 2, the centrioles are going to form. One more, that's duplication of centrioles or replication of centrioles are going to happen in the interkinesis. It is a very short duration, and there is no DNA replication, and there is no multiplication of DNA. That's options are S phase. Okay, and here these chromatin fibers are going to start condense. Chromatin fibers are going to start condense, and one is I am showing here large chromosome, and another one is short chromosome, and both are non-homologous chromosomes. Here one is structurally they are different with each other. We call it as non-homologous chromosomes. According to last class, what I said, after exchanging genetic material, if it is in case of this is the chromosome, it is getting the new DNA fragments after crossing over. Even in case of short chromosome also I am going to show at end of the arms are thick in nature, because already the DNA has exchanged between non-sister chromatids or homologous chromosomes. Okay, and at the end of the prophase 2, what is going to happen? This centrioles will reach to opposite poles. And start producing spindle fibers are going to attach the kinetochore region of the same chromosome from opposite pole spindle fibers. This is the characteristic feature of meiosis 2. And here the meiosis 2 is like a mitosis. How it is? Here, if you see in case of metaphase of mitosis cell division, the spindle fibers are coming from both ends are going to attach to the centromere. The centromere is having a special protein, what is called as kinetochore protein, that can able to hold the two chromatids. And if centrioles are going to attach from opposite poles, these we call it as what, kinetochore spindle fibers. We call it as kinetochore spindle fibers. Here, in case of, I want to explain separately if the chromosomes are arranging like this. Okay, that I can explain under the metaphase. Here, the events what are going to happen in the prophase 2. Centrioles are moving to opposite poles and producing the spindle fibers. Upper spindle fiber, backside of the centriole that are going to attach the cell membrane, we call it as astral rays. And the spindle fibers are forming from centriole going to attach to the kinetochore region of the chromosome. We call it as kinetochore fibers, and the kinetochore fibers are discontinuous. And also we can see the formation of continuously producing spindle fibers from one pole to another pole. We call it as polar fibers or polar spindle fibers, and those are polar spindle fibers are continuous fibers, continuous spindle fibers. And in case of kinetochore spindle fibers are discontinuous spindle fibers. Likewise, the arrangement of spindle fibers we can see at prophase 2. And when we come to the metaphase 2, before going to start the metaphase, what is going to happen after attaching to the kinetochore region of chromosomes, and later what is happening, spindle fibers are getting contract, shrinking, that leads to decrease the length of the spindle fibers, that helps to give pulling nature on chromosome. At that time what is happening, the same power or energy using to pull the chromosome by opposite spindle fibers, and that's why the chromosomes are arranging at the center of the cell or equatorial region. Likewise, the chromosomes are arranging. This is the large chromosome and this is the small chromosome. As you know that the ends are thick in nature because of exchanging the genetic material, and finally at the metaphase 2, the chromosomes are arranging at the center, are reaching at the center. Okay, and also the spindle fibers will come from opposite pole centriole, and we can see from this also astral rays backside and kinetochore fibers and the continuous fibers we can see in the metaphase stage. Here, what is going to happen actually, if this is the chromosome, you know that diploid chromosome having the two DNAs, and this is one chromatid. One chromatid will be having one continuous DNA strand, and another chromatid having one more DNA strand, and they are attaching with each other at centromere region. In this condition, they will be having single centromere. See, the spindle fibers are going to come and attach from both sides of coming from the opposite poles of centrioles. Okay, and when the spindle fibers are getting contracted or shrinking, that will give pressure or pressure on the kinetochore protein, and when this kinetochore protein is the cementing-like material, hold the two chromatids. When the two chromatids are holding with each other with the help of kinetochore, and the spindle fibers are giving the pressure, and that finally leads to what, breaking of the kinetochore protein. If the kinetochore protein is getting break, and centromere also getting break into two, like this. and we can see the presence of interzonal spindle fibers in between the two chromatids. Interzonal spindle fibers. Okay. Likewise, the chromatids are getting separated with each other in which phase, ma? Meiosis 2, and even this type of division of chromosome also we can see in mitosis. That's why meiosis 2 is almost similar like mitosis. That's why meiosis 2 we can also call it as equational cell division. The reason here, the chromosome is going to split into two chromosomes. Single chromosome is going to split into two chromosomes here. Why we consider here as a single chromosome? The reason, if any two DNAs are attaching with each other, we will consider single chromosome. But chromosome having two DNAs, and that part of the chromosome we call it as single chromosome. When the chromatin or centromere are getting separated, we call it as separate chromosomes. And we can see special type of fibers in between the chromatids. We call it as interzonal spindle fibers. And finally, the two chromosomes are getting separated as a separate chromatids, or finally they will become separate chromosomes. Okay, and finally the chromosomes are going to move to opposite pole, because keep on the spindle fibers are getting contract or shrink, and that helps to take the chromosomes, daughter chromosomes, to opposite poles. Like this it will be. If you think this is the large chromosome and having the thick region here, and this is the small chromosome, a daughter chromosome will be having thick region at the arms. Likewise, opposite pole also will be having one lengthy chromosome and one is short chromosome. Likewise, the chromosomes are moving to opposite poles in case of anaphase 2. And next, after anaphase 2, the cell is going to enter into telophase 2. How can we find out the telophase 2? When the chromosomes are reaching to ends or opposite poles, the condensed chromosomes are getting decondensed, and around this we can see the formation of or reappearing of what, nuclear membrane. How can we find out? Reappearing of nuclear membrane and nucleolus. And we can also see one more feature here to identify the telophase cell division. That is what, decondensation of what? Chromosomes into chromatin. Okay, and after telophase, here the process of karyokinesis is completed at the end of telophase. That means karyokinesis 2 we can see in meiosis 2, from prophase 2 to telophase 2. This is we can consider it as what, karyokinesis. that is one. And next enter into another main phase is cytokinesis. Cytokinesis, and here the second time cell is going to divide in animal cells, but there is no first cytokinesis in plant cells. Okay, likewise we can see the clear cut formation of nuclear membrane and inside nucleolus, and we can see the single centriole and arrangement of chromatin in the form of long thread is what? Chromatin. Chromosomes are converting into loosely coiled structure called as chromatin. Likewise, you can see the nucleus and nucleolus in the daughter cells. And one you have to take it as lengthy and another one is shorter to show the difference. Likewise, we can see the formation of two daughter cells from single cell after cytokinesis 1. Okay. Likewise, say another cell is produced after cytokinesis 1 is going to follow same events. That you can copy it down, but I want to explain once again. After that, I can do the meiosis 2 for second cell. Okay. First, let me to complete. After cytokinesis, each cell will be having two chromosomes for understanding purpose. If you take this is the diploid cell, excuse me. If this is the diploid cell and it is having after cytokinesis 1, the daughter cells in the dyad cells will be having haploid condition. Why? Because the two DNAs are still attaching with each other. These two DNAs together we consider as one chromosome. This haploid condition we are representing with N, and the number of chromosomes you can represent this as 23 chromosomes. Okay, and if you come to the prophase 2, same ploidy that's having haploid condition and will be having 23 chromosomes. And if you move to metaphase, same condition, that means haploid condition, you can see 23 chromosomes in the cell. When you come to the anaphase, the DNAs or chromatids are getting separated with each other. They are moving to opposite poles. That means here we can see 1, 2, 3, 4 chromosomes. That means the ploidy will be getting double. And here we can see diploid condition. The number of chromosomes will be 46 chromosomes. And this cell is going to enter into here in case of anaphase. What is ana means? Ana means division. Here ana means division of the chromosomes. And after anaphase, the cell is going to enter into telophase 2. Here, when the cell is going to enter into telophase, the nucleus are forming, that by forming what? Nuclear membrane and nucleolus. And also at the end of the telophase, you can see the formation of furrow on the cell membrane of animal cell. And keep on, it is getting deeper and deeper, and finally it will fuse, the plasma membrane get fused and separate and finally form two daughter cells from one cell. Okay, and this we call it as cytokinesis. See, if you see the ploidy, you can see the 2n condition, and this is going to have 46 number of chromosomes, and when they are getting divided, the cell is getting divided. But here one thing you have to remember, one thing you have to remember, if you consider for the nucleus will be having haploid number of chromosomes. If they specifically ask if the cell is in telophase 2, nucleus condition, the chromosomal condition is what they will ask. Single nucleus chromosomal condition they will ask. This single nucleus will be having haploid set of chromosomes, that is, if you take human cell 23 and another nucleus will be having 23. But cell will be having diploid condition, that 46 chromosomes. And when the cell is going to divide, each cell will get haploid condition, one set of chromosome, and the number of chromosomes will be 23 chromosomes. Here also 23 chromosomes. Okay. We can able to easily find out some of the based on the events. We can find out the stages of cell under the microscope. If the chromosomes are going to start appear, and to see the chromosomes, can we directly see the normal chromosome? No, we can't able to see. We have to add a special color agents and called as dyes. Those are going to take the chromosomes are going to take the color and appear thick in nature. And what stain we are mostly using to stain the chromosome? Giemsa stain. Giemsa stain. This stain is going to make the colorful of what? Chromosomes. Okay. And we can see the reappearing of chromosomes or condensation of chromosomes in this phase, and attachment of spindle fibers coming from opposite pole to same chromosome, that is the feature. And in case of metaphase 2, if you say arranging the chromosomes at the center of the cell, we can call it as what? Equatorial plane. Equatorial plate, or you can also call it as metaphase plate. Metaphase plate. This total. And also one more important thing, in any metaphase you can see clear morphology. The best place to study the morphology of chromosome is which one? Metaphase. Either it is metaphase 1 or metaphase 2 or metaphase in the mitosis. This is the best stage. Why? Because here the chromosomes are highly condensed and will appear thick in nature, and we can see the color of the chromosome and morphology of the chromosome by taking photo with the help of microscope, or higher level of microscope. We can take electron microscope, and we can see clear morphology of chromosomes, and that helps to study the shape and size of the chromosome at this stage. Why? Because highly condensed chromosomes we can see in metaphase. That too, here we are discussing mesophase 2. And if you come to the anaphase 2, what is going here? Why metaphase we call it as? Meta means middle. Here the chromosomes are arranged at the middle, and prophase, pro means before. Before going to arrange the chromosomes at the center, that means before metaphase, whatever the event is, important event is happening now, we call it as prophase. Okay. And after anaphase or after metaphase, the cell is entered into another anaphase. Here we can see clearly the movement of chromosome, and the chromosomes are reaching to the opposite poles. And in telophase 2, we can see clear cut structure of formation of nuclear membrane around the opposite pole chromosomes, and the reappearing of nucleolus, and opposite also same the nuclear membrane is going to form, and decondensation of chromosomes into chromatin, nucleolus is going to form. And also we can see the formation of furrow are forming on the plasma membrane. It is keep on going to, it will start, formation of furrow will start in the telophase, but it's going to complete at the end of the telophase that finally form two cells, and cell is going to divide. Cell is going to divide and getting half of the cytoplasm into two daughter cells and also having one nucleus with each other. Okay, finally we are getting haploid set of number of chromosomes. Here one thing we have got, very important thing we have to understand that this is the characteristic feature of movement of chromosomes in the meiosis II and mitosis. Both are mostly similar. But what is the difference between meiosis II and mitosis? Here the mitosis will be having interphase. Before going to enter into karyokinesis, they will be having interphase, but in case of meiosis II, before meiosis III, that means in between meiosis I and meiosis II, we can see only interkinesis. There is no interphase. That means in interkinesis, what is happening? Only centrioles are duplicating, but in interphase, the DNA are getting double. That means S phase and G1, G2 phases are absent in between meiosis I and meiosis II. Only what is there? Interkinesis. In the interkinesis, centrioles are getting double. That's why here only single centriole are there. Here two centrioles are forming. Likewise, and what is the behavior of chromosome in the meiosis I? Just for understanding purpose, very important the concept this one. Here in case of meiosis I, the chromosomes are in diploid condition. Okay, and see the spindle fibers are going to attach to centromere or kinetochore region from only one pole. That means the chromosomes are moving to opposite. Total chromosome is going to move to opposite pole. Here, one chromosome will fully is going to move opposite pole. Okay. Likewise, the total chromosome is going to move to opposite poles in case of meiosis I, but in case of meiosis II and mitosis, what is going to happen? The centromere is getting split and the chromatids are getting separate with each other. It is not going to happen in the meiosis I. But actual reduction of cell division we can see in meiosis I. The reason, the total, that means the two chromatids are two DNA containing chromosomes are moving to opposite poles, that is going to decrease the number of ploidy. That's why if you take the 2n number of parental cell, after end of the meiosis I, we can see the formation of the daughter cells having n haploid. That means the daughter cells are getting half of the number of chromosomes. That's why these meiosis we can also call it as what, reductional cell division. Reductional cell division. And these two are we call it as what, equational cell division. Why? Because the reductional cell division 2n cells become n. That means two ends are going to form. That means haploid cells are forming. But in case of here, if the cell is 2n, the daughter cells also both will be having 2n, and if the cell is having haploid set of chromosomes, they are going to form haploid set of chromosomes. That's why this we call it as equational cell divisions or equal cell divisions. And here it is a reductional cell division, meiosis I. But if you consider the mitosis is equal cell division, and if you consider the total meiosis, the meiosis cell division is the actual reductional cell division. This is the difference between the meiosis I, meiosis II, and mitosis. At the in which phase? Anaphase 2. In case of anaphase you can take, because mitosis will be having only anaphase and meiosis will be having, in case of meiosis I is having anaphase 1 and meiosis II having anaphase 2. and here there is no presence of any interzonal spindle fiber. There is no interzonal spindle fibers in case of in between the chromosomes in anaphase 1 of meiosis. That is the difference. Okay, up to here regarding the meiosis 2, but I have to explain or continue for the second cell also. Let me to erase this. And I am going to show finally at the end of the meiosis 2 what are the cells are going to form. Okay, see, same it is going to divide. First, in case of cytokinesis, diamond cells are going to enter into prophase 2. And as you know that the spindle fibers or centrioles are going to move to opposite poles, and the spindle fibers are started forming, and they are going to attach to chromosomes. Here I am going to take different shading here. The reason, the before in case of meiosis 1 I have taken, one is thick chromosome, one is light chromosome. After exchanging, the arms only will get thick in nature in this cell, and here the ends or arms will be getting light in color or light in color. Okay, likewise the chromosomes are going to arrange or disperse, but the spindle fibers are attaching from both the pole centrioles. This is the long chromosome. I am showing here. One more is light chromosome or small chromosome. We will be having light ends or end of the arms. Okay, and you know that the nuclear membrane is getting disappear, nucleolus also getting disappear. Okay, and next the cell is going to enter into another phase after prophase 2 is metaphase 2. Metaphase 2. In the metaphase 2, what is going to happen? Like upper cells, these cells also having what chromosomes are getting aligned at center of the cell. Getting aligned at center of the cell, and the ends you can show light in color, and the remaining arms or chromatic portions are thick in color. Okay, and even for small chromosome also. Because of pulling nature given by spindle fibers, and finally at the end of the metaphase, the chromosomes are arranged at the center. Okay, you know that backside is astal fibers, and what are the spindle fibers are attaching to chromosomes are kinetochore fibers, and continuous fibers are polar fibers. Okay, and next from metaphase 2, the cell is going to enter into another phase, that is, let me to draw one figure. The chromosomes are moving to opposite poles. See, the spindle fibers are going to give equal pressure on both sides or poles, and the centromere is getting splitted. Before going to split the centromere, what is going to split? The cementing like material that is holding the chromatids. Kinetochore protein is getting divided as dissolved. After dissolving of the kinetochore protein, centromere automatically get divided, and we can see two centromeres that are formed from the single chromosome, and here the daughter chromosome will be having single centromere, and you can show the only ends are light in color, and the remaining portion is thick in color. Okay, like this. This is the large chromosome. These are small chromosomes I am showing here. Like this, the chromosomes are getting separated, and they are moving to opposite pole, and finally at the end of the telophase or anaphase 2, they are reaching to the ends, and finally after reaching the ends of the cells or poles of the cells, the cell is going to enter into where telophase 2. In the telophase 2, what is going to happen? The nuclear membrane is going to reappear, and also nucleolus also getting reappear. And also we can see one of the important characteristic feature is what, furrow formation on the plasma membrane, or start fusion of the plasma membrane. And we can see the loosening of the chromosome into chromatin and the formation of nucleolus. And finally, this plasma membrane keep on fuse with each other and will form two daughter cells. After cytokinesis, two the daughter cells will be like this. Likewise, like this, the total 4 cells are forming from one diploid parent cell. Here the total how many cells are formed? 4 cells. That's why this cells we call it as all together we call it as after meiosis to tetrads. Tetrads of cells. 4 cells are going to form. How many cells? 4 cells, and each cell will be having haploid set of chromosomes, that are 23 chromosomes in each cell. And finally, each daughter cell, that is 4 cells are formed after meiosis 2, are having half of the number of chromosomes. We call it as haploid condition. And you can see that chromosomal difference in the gametes, and that is makes what difference in between the siblings. What are the siblings? Sisters and brothers. If the persons born from the same parents, they will be having some morphological differences. How a morphological difference will happen if they are even from or born from the same parents? Because at the time of gametogenesis, that means gametes formation, this all daughter cells we can consider as what gametes. Gametes are haploid sets of chromosomes, And we can consider in case of male parent, they can produce what, the gametes, we can call it as sperms in case of humans and other animals. And in case of mother or female parent is going to produce the egg cells or what, ovum or egg. Those will be having half of the number of chromosomes, you can haploid set of chromosomes. And finally, gametogenesis will happen through meiosis, cell division. And this is regarding in detail about meiosis, cell division. Thank you very much.